Hey guys, welcome to another video. And a lot of you have been messaging me on my Instagram about whether the visa interview has been waived off for the fall 22 or the spring 22 applicants, or anyone who wants to go to the United States as of now. Do they still have to appear for the US visa interview? And in this video I'm going to be answering that question to you. Again, this is going to be a video for literally anyone who is watching anywhere over the world, all over the world. I want to give authentic information, so I'm going to be referring a source over here. But at the same time, most of these questions have arise from people of Indian origin, right? And of course, we're going to be making sure that we answer all of you guys as well. All right. So in that process, let's start. The first thing you can see over here on my screen is that the US Department of State has announced that certain international students arriving in 2021 will not be subject to a US visa interview. So certain people, certain students will certainly not have to take the US visa interview. And a lot of you, the questions that you've been asking me, they're very, very legitimate. They're very, very valid. I understand that. Okay. Now, it's understood that applicants for F1 visas, M1 visas, and J1 visas, including students, professors, research scholars, short-term scholars, or specialists, may have the US interview basically waived, right? You won't have to appear for the interview, you won't have to go in front of an officer, you won't have to go to the consulate to appear for that interview. Now, who is this for? Who does it apply to? Does it apply to all the F1 visa students, all the M1 or J1 visa students? The answer is no. Let's keep reading further. Now, the US consulates have given permission to grant waivers to applicants who have previously been granted any type of visa, have never been refused a visa, or have no obvious potential ineligibility. Now, a lot of these people are eligible. So, most of you guys who are watching this, you would fall into this category first off, right? Now, the most important part over here is, however, the visa waiver program country. If you do not belong to one of these countries, if you do not have a passport from one of these countries, you will have to still appear for the visa interview. This is the most important bit. A lot of people are missing out on this thing, okay? All EU member states, all right, there's basically all the European member states or European Union, excluding Bulgaria and Cyprus, Croatia. Now, apart from that, there's Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Singapore, Taiwan, and the UK. All of these countries, if you belong to one of these countries, and please notice that India is not one of these and China is not one of these. So for most of you guys who have been sending me this question, the news is definitely correct and I really appreciate where you're coming from. But unfortunately, the visa scenario, you have to understand that you will still have to appear for it. And please, please, please do not assume that you won't have to take the visa interview. I'm making that very clear in this video. You will be facing a consulate officer, and that is very sure. All right, now before we actually go on and talk about most of these things, just understand the NIE. If you are new to this thing and you are going forward and you're thinking about, oh, what is the NIE, will I need to get a national interest exception, etc., etc. For student visas, you don't need it. You're automatically eligible for an NIE. You don't need to file for it. All right, please remember that. This is again for student visas only. We recently did an H4 or H1B, etc., etc. For those people, you have to separately do it in most cases, right? Unless of course the applicant is in the US, etc., etc. Now, depending on who you are, what you're doing, right, you will be applying for a different kind of visa, right? Again, we've done a lot of F1s, a lot of M1s, J1s, even H4s, H1Bs. But at the end of the day, one thing that I want to notify you as of now is the visa scenario was very, very bad in around, basically for fall 2021 people at least, right? So basically when we were filing the visas for people who had to fly out in August or September 2021, there were literally no slots available, and all through April, May, June, we were always looking for slots, July, even August, even, because see, not every applicant who comes to us has come in advance, right? People come in at the end moment also. Now the thing right now, why I'm telling you all this is that right now the scenario is pretty much the same. The slots are not being made available. US Travel Docs is not releasing bulk slots, or when you log into your portal, once you have your I-20, to be very honest, you don't even need your I-20 to start your visa process, even if you're a student, F1 visa student, by the way. But still, most people started after that. And once you get your I-20, you sign up on the CGI Federal Portal, etc., etc., and you will see that the slots are just not there. You will be monitoring day and night, but the slots won't appear. And this happens, all right? And, for us, we have built automatic algorithms. They're monitoring 24/7. Whenever a slot is available, they book it for you. But in general, the scenario is still pretty much the same like in the fall 2021 case. For all of you guys who are going to be flying out in spring 22, somewhere around January or February 2022, right? It's important that you recognize this. So the reason I'm telling you all of this is start early. If you have been admitted to a university and you're thinking, maybe I'll just wait for another university decision, I don't really know, maybe I'll get an admit over there, don't worry about it. Just get your I-20 first. Start booking your slot first, okay? You may or may not get that admit, and if you do, you will know how to change these things, right? You will know how to alter the path, alter your DS-160, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, if you haven't booked a slot for yourself, it's going to be very, very difficult. And even at the end moment, when you have no one to look up to, like where do you get the slot from, right? Because US travel docs is not releasing them on a regular basis. They're very, very sporadic. Once maybe in a day, or 5-10 times in a day. Sometimes they'll just release one slot, and for that one slot people are fighting literally. It gets very, very difficult. All right, so make sure that you understand this. No, there are no waivers for Indians. All right, if you're from one of these countries that I mentioned, yes, the visa interview may be waived for you. Nigerians, a lot of you guys came to me. We worked together as well. For you guys also, no waivers. Please understand this. You have to go ahead with the interview. All right. Again, if you need help preparing for the interview, there's a lot of videos on my channel. You can take a look at for free. If you need more help, we can have one-on-one sessions as well. All right. Again, we have those on YMGrad.com. Let me just take you over here to the website. You can go into the services section. You'll see the US visa mock interview service. Where is it? I'm not able to find it. Yeah, here it is, right? So you can basically take a look at this just in case you would like to work on the mock interview. If you would like us to book a slot for you as well, etc., etc., you can take a look at the visa application help service right over here. This covers much more, and in general, even if you're rejected, we continue working on your case for no extra charges, etc., etc., right? So there's different kinds of benefits, different kinds of services, but in general, the goal is for you to get a slot at the earliest at this point. All right, so don't, I know I'm repeating this, but it's really, really important that you get it in your head, because the gravity of the situation sometimes surpasses you at times. You just don't understand, because I have worked on this firsthand and I know how difficult it can be to get a visa slot. That's why I know, and I'm telling you, it really isn't an easy matter. All right, so I hope I clarified your doubt. No waivers for most of you guys, and apart from that, if you were from one of those countries, again, you guys, you're good to go. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and take care.